Hola amigos y amigas, I am Leila, also known as Miss Bohemia. I had originally started this video in a whole other way. It was supposed to be an unboxing of a pair of skates that were sent to me. Now, this video is all about beware, do not buy these skates. What skates am I talking about? I am talking about Markozy skates. Where do I start? A few weeks ago, I received a DM that I found in my junk because I didn't follow this company by Markozy skates. I looked at it, it seemed to be legit. I checked out their Instagram page and they wanted to send me a pair of skates. I wondered why, because I don't have a huge following at all, anywhere. On YouTube, on Instagram, I'm technically a nobody, so I thought, well, maybe they're starting out and they want to reach out to tiny micro influencers. Not that I would call myself an influencer, but that's the term that would be given. So, okay, it didn't hurt me to say okay and see what came. It wasn't going to be anything that's sponsored, etc. And even if it was, I reserve the right to be honest in my reviews. But at the same time, I was worried because Sure Grip, for example, is an established roller skate company. It's a good roller skate company. A lot of people love Sure Grip, but my experience with Sure Grip was not the best. And I did a comparison between the Sure Grip boardwalks that I have and my Moxie lollies, and you can view that here. It's by far my most popular YouTube video ever, hands down. It's received the most views, the most comments. Thankfully, it's been well received by a lot of people who experienced the difference between the skates that I outlined in that video in a similar fashion. And so I pride myself in at least having been honest. So I was concerned. I'm like, okay, they're sending me these skates. I'm very picky about my skates. I am very much a Moxie lolly girl. I actually vowed this year to gift myself a pair of Moxies a year, because why not? Because I want to. And so here I was being offered these other skates. I checked them out online and I just knew I wasn't going to be in love with them. So my goal and my challenge to myself was to be as honest as I could. And could I be that honest in as kind of way as possible? The skates seem to be geared towards beginner skaters, and so I was going to try to do the review and look at it through a beginner lens. And so here are snippets of when I started the unboxing. I was trying to keep an open mind. I was trying to keep my perspective fresh. I really hadn't even opened the box or looked at the skates before they arrived, and I wanted my reaction to be as sincere as possible and open-minded, even though I had my qualms about it. I hadn't Googled the company. I hadn't done any of that kind of research. I don't know why. I just thought I'd gonna jump into this with as open a mind as possible. And so here are snippets of that intro to the skates. Here's my box. And let's make it look like magic. Ooh, so it's a nice carry case type of box, which is always welcome and always the coolest. Ooh, okay, so sensory overload. First impressions. Look at how cute the inside is. It says, we're honored that when it comes to skates, you think of us with love. Thank you. Right off the bat, I am a shoe girl, and my Jeffrey Campbell shoes, my favorite shoe brand ever, always comes in, what are they called? Dust bags? So these come in dust bags, and they're really good quality. I'm distracted. Really good quality dust bags and stickers. I am into stickers. It's just roller skate culture that you get stickers with every damn purchase that you make. And Markozy skates did not disappoint. And they didn't just send one sticker. They send you a whole sticker sheet. Let's look at the skates. So I believe they want to capture like the old-timey, old-school look of skates, and so therefore their skates are black, but they come with different color. Oh, I was so curious. So they come with different color wheels and laces. So I think they have like purple, they have red, other colors, and so I got pink. I'm actually really excited. I was very curious to see what color I would get, and I am a very girly girl, and I love girly colors. I was trying to be positive, like I said, and I was trying to be nice, and I was trying to be polite, but what didn't hit me right away was this one issue, and here are a few little clips. First off the bat, they're here right next to my nose, and I have very sensitive sense of smell, and they kind of smell a little bit like cigarettes, and that's kind of off-putting. I don't know why they smell like cigarettes. They really smell, and they're giving me a headache, honestly. I have huge smell sensitivities, and these are very just reeking of cigarette smoke. I don't know why. Sorry, they smell. They really smell. They really smell, and it's giving me a headache. Yes, the skates smell. I have them right here next to me on the floor, packed in their little dust bags in the box, and so I'm safe. I have had them in the garage. I didn't even want those skates here in my closet because this is my closet with a fake background. So I brought them in for the sake of this video. I'm going to take one out of the dust bag for the purpose of further explaining where I stand with these skates, and to also test and see, does that smell thing still remain the case? And this is probably a week and a half to 2 weeks after I originally filmed the unboxing. Here we go. Please don't stink. They stink. And though at first I was calling them cigarette smell, I think it's something to do with this fucking material. It's toxic. This is toxic shit. So the stench aside, because this thing stinks, it's lessened a little from the day of the original unboxing, so the smell will dissipate. But now that I can distinguish it and actually have gone in for a sniff, it's on the fabric. It's so nasty. It's so nasty. Okay. Okay, before I digress, because there's a point I forgot to make as to why I'm here filming the video. I was under the mistaken impression that maybe Markozy Skates is like a mom and pop shop, mainly going by how kind and how polite and how nice they were via their Instagram DMs, and that has continued to be the case. They are super nice. Super nice. Very bad, very broken English, which will come into play later. So because I thought they were like a mom and pop shop, I DM'd them on Instagram and I said, listen, I have so many issues with these skates that I cannot in good conscience post any type of review that's going to be glowing. I have to be honest. I would have to not hold back and say exactly what it is that I think about these skates. And because you've been so kind to me, maybe I'll just refrain from posting anything and just send these back to you. So please send me a return label. They wrote back saying, well, we'd like to know what issues you have just to know how to improve the product, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, fine. So I told them the issues that I had, which I'm going to tell you in a second. And we had a few exchanges and it just kind of, something felt off. So I did what I should have done in the beginning and I Googled them. And you can't find much about them because there isn't really even much about them on their website. There's no real about thing, no story, no history, no why, no who's behind the brand, who made these skates. And one thing that I love about Moxy skates, and it's something that Estrogen, the founder of Moxy, will say time and time again, is that Moxy skates are skates made for skaters by skaters. If you don't follow Moxy roller skates, whether you want to use Moxys or not, it's worth it because you learn so much. First of all, the passion behind the skate brand. Everybody who works for Moxy is a skater, whether in a more beginner stage, intermediate or advanced. They are connected. They know what it's like to have that skater mindset, and they have a passion for roller skating, which I think is imperative when you're going to be developing a skate. It has to be for skaters by skaters, which is why Moxy works. And Moxy has a range of skates ranging from very beginner to very advanced. So I trust Moxy, and following them on Instagram and on their YouTube, I think is really eye-opening and very educational because they cover a lot of topics. And some of my favorite videos are the ones where Estrogen delves in and talks about the different skates that they have, highlighting their differences, what makes each skate unique and what they are good for. And a focus of those talks is also the materials used, the wheels used, the plates used. So there's a lot of knowledge and a lot of savvy and a lot of thought into the development of skates with Moxy roller skates. And I would also say, like with Rydell, I'm sure with Sure Grip, and actually established roller skate companies. My favorite, of course, is Moxy, which is why I keep mentioning them. It's what stands out to me as what has really satisfied my skater needs and earned my respect as a roller girl. And so it's a high bar, but it was very educational for me to have that background with my skating, the research that I've done, following Moxy and learning from them. Enter Markozy skates. The day of, when you get skates, you want to check the trucks, you want to check the wheels. I mean, this is not an adjustable, they fucking stink. This is not an adjustable toe stop. So, I mean, other than basically just making sure this is properly affixed and nice and tight so that it's not going to fall out on you. There's nothing more that you can check. But the thing with the wheels, watch the clip first from my unboxing day. So let's check the wheels. My Y3 tool is pretty much ideal for skates with adjustable toe stops. For this, I would need a screwdriver, so it's not on my Y3 tool, but it's not anything I need to. so I don't know. Doesn't have the best spin right now. I have to find that balance between this not clacking and also giving me the best spin. But I don't have too many ridges left, so it clacks a little, but then it spins well. And then if I tighten a little bit, the clacking stops, but the spin isn't ideal. So I would need a little more leeway with this to work with. But I'm gonna leave it there where I'm opting for the better spin, hoping the wheels are sturdy. Let's do it to the rest of them. Okay, so this one is really loose now, so let's tighten it. Okay, so I'm having off the bat a little bit of an issue with the wheels because, like I said, when you're checking your wheels, you want to kind of go to a place where you don't have the best spin and then go back a little and then no. So go back a little, loosen a little, and you get the best spin. And that fine-tuned location between not being in the too hard zone and right there when you loosen a little and the spin is ideal, and hopefully it shouldn't be clacking, that's where you want to be. But I do get more of a loose feeling to these wheels than I do in my other skates, and I have pretty much no ridges left here to work with. So that is a little bit of a concern for me in the construction element of the skates. I'm curious as to the wheels though, and the construction and the quality, so it'll be interesting to test out because they're their own wheels, Markozy. They're not Raider Energy, or I mean obviously they're not Moxie, but Luminous. There's a bunch of other brands out there, so they have their own wheels. I hope I made sense, but the very basic gist with the wheels and all of them, and both skates, every single wheel, all 8 wheels, is that when you're adjusting the skate, like I said, you want to take it to a point where it's not rolling properly, like that tightness, and then start working your way back to get to the roll, and at the same time they don't want to clack. But the moment that fine line between the state of not rolling perfectly 100% to that perfect spot of okay, they're rolling and that's where you want them to be, it felt completely unstable. So I really didn't have much leeway to adjusting the wheel, and then it's not even one thread left, it's at the very edge. So where do you go from there? And then the trucks, they're already really loose. I hadn't tried them on, but I just kind of wanted to adjust and get a feel for them, and they have a few ridges. A little bit of loosening of the trucks and it felt like this whole structure was gonna fall off. I'm like, what on earth is this? Oh my god. I loosened the trucks a little and they're already like clacking. I don't really know what the hardness of the cushions are. That's information I would like to have. So for my example with my lollies, they came equipped with medium cushions and I like my cushions soft. Okay, so this was a little disappointing because I was trying to just lightly loosen the trucks and this whole thing started like clacking. So now I'm a little nervous about these trucks. Yeah, I can visibly see them move in a way that's not very comforting, so I'm just not going to touch the trucks for now. I'm just going to manually check these and see how they came. Okay. They look and feel really cheap. I'm not at all impressed, and I don't really know much about skate construction, but it's just not. The materials are not impressive, and so I mentioned these things to them via DM, and I also said, and this is the other thing that got me, and I don't know if they've changed the pricing since, they were listed as being on sale for about what, $150, $160, something like that, down from their original price of $250. Are you fucking kidding me? I would not pay $20 for these skates. They are that cheap and that trashy, okay? And then I also mentioned that with Moxie, you can get the Rainbow Riders, which is their lowest rung as far as price point goes of skates, and it's also geared towards beginners. So no, you're not going to go with the Rainbow Riders into the skate park and do some park skating because they're also not meant for that, but they are an incredible beginner skate, the highest quality materials that you can have at that price point, and they come in at $99. A step up, and I'm talking vegan materials because to compare it to this, which is vegan, it's polyurethane, I believe. Here's a clip of when I was reading the specs of the skates. The specs are simple. It's polyurethane leather. They have aluminum alloy chucks and base plates. Equipped with AVIC 7 bearings. The wheels are 85A diameter and the size is 58 by 32 millimeter. They call it a removable stopper, but it's a fixed stopper. It's not adjustable. Those are the specs. The Beach Bunnies by Markozy are vinyl, $169. They're a step up from the Rainbow Riders. They're great skates too, to start with, to continue with for quite a while before you might feel like you want to up the ante. I started higher with Moxie Lollies just because I knew I wanted to keep going with skates, and because the Moxie Lollies are suede, I have foot issues. Boots tend to be tight on my feet. I don't do well with rigid materials, etc. And the Moxie Lollies were just a dream. They are a dream, and I have a whole review on just the lollies here. They're amazing. I can't rave about them enough, which is like, here I am committing to wanting to buy myself a new pair of lollies a year because I love them that much and I want to own every single color that's out there. But coming back to this, you can get Moxie, an established roller skating company, basic model for $99, a step up $169. This is a no-name brand with their no-name wheels, no-name everything, cheap materials, cheap, bad construct, shoddy for $240. I was appalled. And so when I mentioned this to them, their comeback was that, well, we use polyurethane leather and Moxie uses vinyl and this is a step up. No, it is not. Do a simple Google search and you will find multiple websites telling you that vinyl is by far the higher material because it stands wear and tear, it doesn't erode fast, it doesn't give in to the elements, it has longevity, and there was a plethora of things wrong with the materials that Markozy skates use. So I'm like, okay, just because you're DMing me something doesn't make it a fact. So I hope people are looking things up should they reach out to Markozy and say, hey, I have an issue with your skates. So I was still gonna let it go, and then when I got that DM from them, I'm like, you know, this just doesn't ring true, and who are they to criticize a Moxie? So I looked it up, found that factoid, and I'm like, okay, there's just something wrong, and I'm gonna do now what I should have done from the beginning and Google Markozy skates. You don't find much on Markozy skates. I found a Reddit thread, some people saying, oh, they're amazing skates. Wouldn't surprise me if it was like a Markozy plant, I don't know. I found a lot of other people saying these are scams, they're like drop shippers from China, so beware, they make cheap skates and they're trying to like make a big old profit off of them and scam a lot of people. We have a lot of newbies. There's been a surge since the pandemic in skaters, and so they're trying to profit off of that. I was still gonna let it go. I'm like, well, I don't know enough. I don't have tangible proof other than what I researched and other than the fact that you really can't find much. So my preference, I need to know more about a skate company that I'm gonna be spending major coin on, because $240 for shit is not cheap. But then what got me was, there is, and I'm not gonna say her name because I don't want to throw her under the bus, but there's a well-known, in the skating world, she's pretty well known. She's not super advanced and she's not high up there as far as legendary skaters go, but in the YouTube world, I've seen a lot of her videos. She's super sweet, super colorful. I like her vibe. Her skating videos are awesome. I follow her on Instagram. It shocked me when I found Markozy sharing her in their stories because she had done a YouTube review. So I checked out their YouTube review and it was glowing. And my thing is, how many skaters are they sending this out to, and how many people are going to give them good reviews just because they got a free pair of skates out of them? So that's why I'm here to tell you, don't buy Markozy skates. Especially, it's not like they're coming in at $20 or $50. If you wanted to spend hella cheap money and eventually you'd have to upgrade the plates, you'd have to upgrade the wheels, all that stuff adds up. I would just say go with Moxie. You want to start at a basic level, get the Rainbow Riders at $99. A little bit higher up, get the Beach Bunnies at $169. Higher up from that, get the Moxie Lollies. It's an investment, but it'll last you. I mean, you don't need to ever change from the Moxie Lollies unless you want to advance and do park skating and whatnot, and then you would get the Moxie Jackboot. So why the fuck would you go with this? And yes, they offered me a free pair of skates. I could have said nothing and done this review and kept them, but I don't want to. I'm sending them back. And I'm keeping my word when it comes to wanting to stay authentic and honest. And because I've seen other skaters start to do reviews that are glowing about Markozy, I have to add my voice to the mix and say, don't buy them. They are a scam. Some people claim that they're also the same people behind Polaris and Angel Skates. I don't really know much about them. And I even mentioned this to Markozy Skates. I'm like, listen, this is what I'm reading on you guys. Oh, this stuff is so bad. And they said, oh no, again in very bad broken English, which is also a red alert that, listen, these people are not based out of the US. I mean, you could have broken English and be based out of the US, but I just feel that the thread that was going on about them being a scam and drop shippers from China made more sense to me. So I said this to them and they say, well, no, because we are based out of Wyoming and we ship from California and drop shippers ship from China. Not necessarily true. You can still have an established business from here and do your drop shipping from here to try to appear legit. This is fast fashion of skates. It is trash. It is crap. It is cheap. It is dangerous because given how little it took to make these plates shake, to make the truck shake, to make the wheels feel unsteady and like they were gonna fall off, I could not in good conscience recommend these. In my original unboxing video, I tried them on and here's a clip. So both boots are on. They feel a little klutzy. Very first impressions in limited space that I have, they do not feel ideal. They feel unstable. The trucks do come pretty loose, but at the same time, I don't feel very secure in these trucks because a little bit of a loosening to them and they just started clacking. This just doesn't feel very secure to me. I was leaning too far forward and I don't know if I was leaning too far forward, but I just felt like I was about to fall forward. So I'm not sure about the angle. I don't have any information about the angle of the plates, the kingpin. I don't have any information, that of much to go by, and I'd like to have more information. I already felt off. They didn't feel good, but I thought, okay, I need to have an open mind and really do my due diligence and try them out when I do like my nightly, because at night I do some roller dance moves and drills and skating, and maybe take them out for a spin and test them out outside and test the durometer and test their wheels. But you know what? I'm not going to do that to myself. And that was before I started Googling and looking into this brand and into this company. They didn't feel good on. First impression was not the best, and so that's where this ends. They finally followed through and sent me a return UPS label so I can return these skates to them. Had they been a legit brand, had they been safe enough for a beginner skate, I would have said so. I would have kept them, and I was not going to be using them. I would have probably done a giveaway and given it to someone, but honestly, I don't even feel that these are safe enough to give to people. Right before filming this video, I also Googled, and a lot of little YouTubes showed up from last year of models that are no longer on their website. So I think they have just tried this scam and coming at people with different types of skates, and when they just go bust, they probably shut the whole operation down and start again. So there was one video I saw from this woman who had actually paid $140 and received some really horrific looking skates that were called the Graffiti by Markozy. Do your due diligence, Google, check out different YouTubes. I just saw that one. I don't need to see more. I don't care what other people say. Sometimes people say nice things. They're trying to be polite. They got a free pair of skates, but my take is a no. There's something fishy about them, even if there's not much evidence to unearth. The price point is absolutely ridiculous because you can definitely get better skates for less. There's a lot of other skate brands other than Moxy. I mentioned Moxy because I trust Moxy. Moxy has been there for me. Moxy has followed through. Moxy does their best to be there for their customers and to answer all skate questions and to help skaters advance. And so you can always use the knowledge you gain from Moxy towards other established brands, and that's the key point. Markozy doesn't have a chance. I hope they don't have a chance. They are a danger to new skaters. Do not buy Markozy. It is an absolute no, and it is crap. I don't know what else to say. If I had to recommend anything, I would recommend Sure Grips and Moxy and all these other skate brands that are established over this crap. Do not buy Markozy skates. And that's that. This took an unexpected turn because I thought I would end up with skates that were pretty good for beginners, and that probably my take was going to be like that, and I was surprised that it came to this. And then I thought that I'm not going to tape anything, but when I saw that I would not be speaking out against a mom and pop shop, but this unknown mysterious entity that is trying to scam people with cheap skates at a very overpriced rate, then it's a no. Be careful, do your due diligence, do your research, and should you know anyone who's thinking of getting these skates by some crazy odd chance that they've heard of this unknown brand, please tell them not to. Again, you can get a way better deal with Moxy. I have become an ad for Moxy roller skates. Shop Moxy. Thank you for tuning in. Seriously, if you like this video, please hit like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for more. And see you in my next one. Ciao for now.